JiggyJaguar Experience. The JiggyJaguar Experience.
Yes, indeed. It is the Sunday radio broadcast, coast to coast, Boda to Boda. Get a hold of us online at JiggyJaguar.com. JiggyJaguar.com. You can find us on 990 WBOB each and every week. Mix on Tuesdays. And of course, find us on iHeartRadio as well. Yes, indeed. 24/7, 365. I am Jig Man Freud. I've got to roll my R's like a rolling roaster's chickens today. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, we are going to go, in fact, to our first guest. Y'all thought I was going to do it at the top of the show. I'm not doing it at the top of the show. I am going to be bringing in an expert to discuss this. But before we go to our expert and we go to discuss this and we do all the stuff that happens, I believe we're going to be getting our first guest in here in just a few moments. By the way, if you're joining us live here on our big program, thank you. If you're joining us on Tuesdays on the Mix, thank you. If you're joining us live, as the Des would say, it is 990 WBOB out there in Rhode Island, of all places. And you can get all of our musician interviews over there at themic.info. And I believe our first guest is getting things adjusted on their end. They are trying to make the magic happen. And as I like to say, dollars to donuts. And let's hope they brought the donuts. We'll get it going. It doesn't look like they brought donuts, but maybe there's donuts on that shelf over there. So we're going to hope that there are donuts there as they get everything adjusted and get in here. If you want to find our videos, we have them posted to Clout Hub, whatever the hell that is. Also, you can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and Facebook, and YouTube as well. We have got all sorts of different things. We want to also send a big shout out to, we have made a milestone over there on the KJAG Radio not Facebook page, the KJAG Radio YouTube channel, as we have now got over 500 subscribers on that little account. It's not so little anymore. But we are going to go to our first guest. I believe they are getting ready, and I believe they're going to be joining us here in a few moments. And welcome to the broadcast. How are you, sir?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually. Pretty good, actually. I really appreciate you taking the time to, as the great Hulk Hogan would say, hang and bang with us, brother. Thanks for being with us, man.
And you're Jiggy?
I am Jiggy, unfortunately. That's what the internet says.
No, that's the coolest name I ever heard. I like Jiggy.
And hey, you know what's funny? And I can get this. Hold on. Let's make sure we get this right. We just had. I have dealt with all sorts of nonsense this week. I had a guy who thinks he's a comedian somewhere tell me that I can't get any black guests on this show. Last I checked, you're a black guy, so thanks for coming on our broadcast today, and thanks for saying the name is the coolest thing you've ever heard. That makes my week, sir.
Oh, I got you, yeah. I thought you was black, too. I was kind of shocked.
You know what's funny? There's a lot of people that have thought that, and I'll tell you, as I like to say, if I was black from the waist down, I'd still be married to my first ex-wife, so.
Oh, my goodness.
You are a cool motherfucker, dude. Thanks for being with us today. So tell me, give us a little bit of an introduction on yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my man.
Wow, where should I start? My name is Ellington Toussaint Zimmerman. My artist name is ZeeZeeWatch Thumpin. I'm from Enterprise, Alabama, and I grew up in Alabama. I come from military parents. I also went into the military myself after graduating high school.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay.
No, good. I'm just doing as they say in the pro wrestling business. I'm just putting you over, baby. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when I was in the military, my primary MOS was music. I was a drummer in various Army bands while serving in the military. I also got to serve in an infantry division that allowed me to deploy to Iraq twice. So
wow.
My musical experience not only comes from my father, who his side of the family is very musical, but he was also a military musician for over 20 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't stay 20 years. I only got about 10 years in, and I, if I could do it over again, I probably would have reclassed into a different MOS. I would have went into psychological operations.
That's awesome. Well, you are a fantastic individual. Thank you for your service, brother. I think that's fantastic that you that you got in and you lived to tell the tale, baby. So I think that's awesome. So you have some incredible music. Tell me a little bit about your musical background and your musical side of things.
Now that's wild. I mean, like I said, my father was a musician, so I grew up in a house full of music. My mom also loved music. My mom used to have all these records of all people like the Isley Brothers, the Earth, Wind, and Fire. What is that brother's name? Rick James.
Rick James, like baby. That's right. Super Freak.
Yeah. And, my dad, he was a jazz head. And he come from Washington,
That's awesome.
D.C. So a lot of the people like Art Blakey, what's his name, Clifford Brown, a lot of old school jazz music that a lot of people don't really listen to nowadays. I grew up on that from his side. I'm from Alabama, so rap music was very popular when I was growing up down here. And it was considered dirty South music. You probably remember people like Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
Oh, yeah, Little John, baby.
Yeah, the No Limit Camp, with Master P and MC Murder. All these different people making music with Rap A Lot Records, Ghetto Boys, all that stuff, all this combination of that type of music, Trick Daddy, which in my time growing up, a lot of music referred to as crunk.
Hey, I'll tell you, the one thing I know about Trick Daddy is that he loves the kids.
Yeah.
So
that's right. Hey, look, I say the same thing myself. I say he loves kids because of the type of work that I'm involved in. I really do love kids.
So you have got some incredible music. Tell me a little bit about just your writing process and some of the different things that you do with your music.
And let me tell you something about that. That comes from studying the Bible or the scripture, and then it comes from what I see and what I internalize. Like I've been studying the Bible for years now, right? And then I get to what I call the watchtower. It's when I look out and I begin to see what's going on domestically and internationally. And I begin to process these things internally, and they turn into songs. That's where my music comes from.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You have got some incredible music. We've got a great guest with us today. So how do people find your music, buy your music, get involved with what you're doing, man?
I got my website at eaprods.com. It's EAPRODS.com. All the music that I put out so far is on every streaming platform. I even put this last album, Polarized, on platforms that were, what do you call it? They weren't paid, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I had the option to put it out there to everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So my music can be found just about anywhere.
Well, we are going to do this. We are going to play some of your music. You have just got some incredible stuff. Tell me a little bit about WMD. We're going to play that here in a few moments.
All right.
This is an incredible track. Tell me a little bit about this.
Weapons of mass destruction. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. The second time I went to Iraq, I had a very deep spiritual experience where I believe the Holy Spirit began to communicate with me in a way I had never had before. And I began to ask questions. I began to look around and stuff I was seeing. I asked the Father, I said, why are we over here? I kept saying, why are we over here?
Yep.
And they tell you to be careful what you ask for, because while I was over there that time, my eyes got opened up and it completely changed me and my view on life. And I had to take years to internalize the things I began to see about the world I live in terms of growing up in the West.
Yep.
Versus other places, politics, the use of military in the world, you know, power. And when I began to internalize these things and coming to what the Bible calls the knowledge of all truth, and some people believe that's just the gospel, you know. But the Messiah is just the gospel. But I believe when God begins to open people's eyes to the reality we live in, some would say the reality of the Matrix, you begin to look at what you grew up seeing differently. For example, I had a sense of patriotism and stuff growing up, and you learn this when you're in grade school and high school and stuff. But then when you get to looking at what your government can do to other people in different parts of the earth, and it's based upon your own ignorance, it'll make you think some type of, it'll make you feel some type of way, and that's basically what's on that track. George Bush's voice, George Bush, not George Bush Sr., but his son, when 9/11 happened, the president we had then, he said that we thought they had weapons of mass destruction. That's why we supposedly went into Iraq, right?
Yep.
Later on, he comes and says, well, we thought he had weapons of mass destruction. It turns out he did. Okay. So what the heck? What was that? What was that? You know what I mean? Why were we involved in that? So when you mix that with your own biblical beliefs and that awakening and realization that the Bible says you cannot trust in the sons of men or the princes. It says trust only in the Most High. Meaning we can be misled in this life and in this earth. And basically that song, Weapons of Mass Destruction, is an expression of not only how politicians use militaries, but also I talk about chemical and laboratory-made marijuana, which I believe destroys your reproduction system.
Yep.
I talk about the war machine, like President Dwight D. Eisenhower talked about the military industrial complex.
You are saying all the shit, brother. I hear you, man. Oh my God, I hear you. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we are going to do this. I'm going to place you on a brief hold here on Skype, and we're going to play this track. And when we come back, we're going to keep chatting with you, my friend. So I will be right back with you. We are going to play WMD live here on our big program.
At the time, as we thought he had weapons of mass destruction, turns out he didn't.
Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you in times of great deception and distress. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from all evil, Father. Deliver us from these devils, from these I'm a rep. On that left. Weapons mass destruction, they call it self-production. I call it construction of their population reduction. Hit you up with that blue pill mass corruption. Hit you with that gun control, you wake up. In the clubs, weapon mass destruction. They putting poison in that weed to trash your reproduction. Surgery got women wearing penis, men wearing vagina. RFID, go track the world, go ahead and look at China. It's false prophets everywhere, the babes can't find a preacher. Real prophets censored on YouTube for even trying to reach ya. I'm here to reach the lost ship of Israel. Looked at me funny up in church cause I was gold. Won't bow to this world, not selling my soul. I'm walking in power, no silver and gold. I'm a y'all cause this world is cold. Fought and paid for, yeah, I'm covered in blood. To be a good soldier, you can't be on drugs. Yeah, sure what I want and only plug. We gon' pull up with them angels and mud. Casting down false gods and thugs.
Weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction.
From these devils.
Weapons of mass destruction.
I'm a rep. On that left. They got the masses terrified, they don't know what to do. They been changing, now it's here, but it's not what they knew. Flashing dollars in every music video. Market crash, they'll be crying for Pedro. The lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life is true. Yahshua did it, he said it is finished, stop asking what he would do. They gave me that image, now in your reflection you cannot see he brew. He doubts how he saw his hands and realized them hoes would see through. You know these politicians liars, you know they don't follow Messiah. Got you thinking about growing old, got you working to retire. All of these worldly desires got us muted and blinded. I command eyes to see, they lead to the lake of fire. Open your eyes.
At the time, as we thought he had weapons of mass destruction, turns out he didn't. Weapons of mass destruction. Weapons of mass destruction.
From these devils.
Weapons of mass destruction.
I'm a rep. On that left.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Absolutely amazing stuff. That's WMD, and that is our guest. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. The album is titled Polarized. ZeeZeeWatch Thumpin with us today here on our big program. And that is from the album Polarized, and it is fantastic. It is an unfiltered album. This is just amazing stuff. And the artist joins us back here on our big broadcast. So I'll tell you, man, you are speaking my language with talking about George W. Bush, and we thought they had weapons of mass destruction and the New World Order, and Ike warning us against the military-industrial complex. Brother, you're speaking my language. I hear you, man. So, not to stray away from the album, but we lost him. Skype. I said New World Order, and it locked up on me. That is amazing. That is amazing. I said New World Order, Ike, military-industrial complex, George W. Bush. It Skype locked up on me. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, as they say. I don't know who's saying it, don't know why they're saying it, but they are indeed saying it. We're going to go back live. This is pretty fantastic here. Let's see. Okay,
I think we're back in now.
Yeah, we're back. I don't know what happened. I said New World Order and Skype locked up on me. Shocking. Shocking. Hey, I'd rather be using Skype than Zoom. I think it was so funny. During the COVID pandemic. when all these Republicans kept telling everybody, oh, we don't like China, we don't like China, and then they used Zoom, which is a Chinese product.
Right.
I'm like, guys.
Everything comes from China.
Like, what are you doing here? So your album is amazing. Tell me a little bit about the writing process for some of this music that you've got on here, man.
I want to speak on too, because I was not ready for you to say weapons of mass destruction. I thought that was like the least favorite or like song on the album, because I played a song for people before, and some people thought I was angry. I haven't had this one brother I played a song for, and he said, man, I don't know if I want to dance or think. You know what I'm saying? He said, this sounds like it's the club, but he's like, I can't concentrate on feeling because I want to think. So
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So let me get this straight. So the album itself, and even particularly that song, this album is about exposing the matrix. This album is about exposing a lot of the deception that comes from the political realm of our country here in the United States.
Oh, you better believe it.
Paradigm.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
And addressing the Hollywood agenda, the prison agenda.
Yes.
Any agenda of destruction we could think of that's meant to destroy and entrap people, enslave, oppress people. It's exposing that. This is what it's about. The real thing I'm trying to get people to understand is that please do not be so quick to take sides in this day and time that we are living in, because they purposely want people split up so that when they basically,
you better believe it.
Already open the door.
You better believe it.
The enemies of the United States to come in. I don't know if it's going to be through NATO, but not NATO, excuse me, United Nations.
Yep.
That's I'm talking about that stuff in there too. Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. I'm trying to hit. I'm trying to.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, because we're going to have to go to our next guest here in a few moments. However, you've got my email address. You've got my information. I would love to have you back where we could just talk politics. Because I'll tell you, you've got such a great mind for this stuff. I would love to just have you back and we talk about that.
Okay, we can do that.
Well, touch base with me. We'll probably do something after July 4th because, of course, I love the holidays because they screw up my radio schedule like everybody's business. But get with me, and I'll get you on like a Tuesday or Thursday afternoon sometime, and we'll get you on and talk some politics with you.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate it. I will talk to you soon, man. Thanks for doing this.
All right, thank you for having me, Jiggy.
Appreciate it, brother. There he goes. And, I just got done talking to